We are asked to find x in this question. So solution. Let's write our equation. Root x x over x. So this is what we have. So simplifying now, we can decide to solve this equation by first squaring both sides. We can decide to start it by squaring here and also squaring here. Because whatever you do to the left hand and you do to the right hand does not change our equation. So squaring both sides, hence square root of this, we are going to be left with x, but x equals to 2 square over x squared, because this square actually apply for both the numerator and the denominator. Hence this is what we have. So okay, so this is what we have, and we can still decide to actually simplify here by rewriting it as this, because root of x is the same thing as x to the power of half, equals to 2 square over x squared. So this is what we have. If this is what we have, then we can decide to either simplify this first, or we can actually cross multiply, so we can simplify all the x together since they are like 10. Since I will just decide to cross multiply, which we will now have x to the power of 2 times x to the power of half equals to 2 to the power of 2. So now this is what we have. So if this is what we have, this naturally is to the power of 1. Hence we can decide to sum the power since we have same basis. So it's 2 plus 1 plus half equals 2 squared. Okay, so this is what we have. So this is what we have. This is same times to the power of 1 to the power of 1. So x, so find the LCM, which we can decide to multiply all the denominator. So 1 times 1 times 2 is same thing as 2. So now 2 divided by 1 is 2 times 2 is 4, plus 2 divided by 1 is 2 times this one is what? 2, plus 2 divided by 2 is 1 times 1 is 1. So that's what we have, 2 squared. So as we decide to find the LCM of all of these, which is 2. So now 2 divided by 1 is 2 times 2 is 4. 2 divided by this one is 2 times this one is 2. So now 2 divided by 2 is 1 times this one, 12, 1. Hence simplifying this, so 4 plus 2 plus 1 is what we have, 7 over 2 equals to 2 squared. So this is what we have, 7 over 2 equals to 2 squared. But we are asked to find x, not x to the power of 7 over 2. So what can we actually do? Remember, whatsoever we apply to the left hand side, we can apply the right hand side. So this is what we are going to do. X, we're going to multiply, so this is what we have, x to the power of 7 over 2. How do we ensure we have x? We can decide to do that by multiplying all through by 2 over 7, because you see 2 will divide 2, 7 will divide 7, that will be left with x. So since we apply that to the left hand side, we need to actually apply that to the right hand side. So multiply here by what? 2 over 7. And so we have x, because 2 will divide 2, 7 will divide 7, so we're just left with x, or x to the power 1, which is actually the same thing as x actually. So it's equals to 2 to the power of 2 times 2 is 4 over 7. So this is our final answer, but let's try another. So let's try another method. So we can now, that's the first way of solving it. So let's try another method. So what do? We cross multiply directly. So we have x root of x equals to 2. This is what we have. We're trying to find another way of solving it. So after doing that, someone will just decide to square both sides directly now, which is this to square here and to square here. So squaring this is the same thing as having x squared because you square this and you also square this, and we'll be left with x root x here, which is equal to 2 to the power of 2. So this is what you have. Then let's simplify this first. X to the power of 3 root x equals to 2 squared. How do you come about x to the power of 3? You know this to the power of 1, and they are having same base, so we just pick one of the base and add the power. Since it's to the power of 1, so we just add 2 plus 1 and pick one of the base. So that's how we came about this. So we can decide to square both sides again. We're squaring both sides again. So and this square will affect both these and this. So which is to affect both this and to still affect these two. So 2 to the power of 4 because 2 times 2 gives us 2 to the power of 4 here. Then 2 and the same thing. This will multiply this from law of indices. We have a to the power of say c, then b like this. The same thing as writing is at a to the power of bc. So and try to multiply it. So that's where we got this from. So you can decide to apply that here. So x to the power of 3 times 2, which is going to be 6 times this. You know that it's the same thing as writing it as x to the power of half. Then x to the power of half. But we have raised to the power of 2 equals to 2 to the power of 4. So we have x to the power of 6 now times. Already you know that this, we are going to be left with x here because uh, half times 2 is going to give us 1, and x to the power of 1 is the same thing as x. So we can write that equal to 2 to the power of 4. So now, same base again. You can pick the base and add the power. This is the same thing as the power of 1. So 6 plus 1 is equal to the power of 4. So we have x to the power of 7 equals to 2 to the power of 4. So what we are looking for is x, not x to the power of 7. Hence, we can divide the power. We can divide this by 1 over 7. So we can decide to apply this by 1 over 7. And same here, 1 over 7. Since we've applied it at the left hand side, we can apply it at the right hand side. Hence, x, hence we can divide this now. 7 times 1 over 7. We're going to be left with x equals to 2. So 4 times 1 over 7 is something as 4 over 7. So hence our final result. So that's the second way you can actually approach it. And there are many other ways you can try it. Thank you for watching.